is that time of the week. We are now officially called this edition of the Kiwanis Connects show to order. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining us on this Friday, November 21st, pre-Thanksgiving edition of Kiwanis Connects. I'm Aaron Phillips, the voice, coming to you live from the Virginia Beach studios of WVBV-TV. That's right, and joining me way across the country in Bakersfield, California, is my cohort and bestest friendest in the world in Kiwanis, Doc Val. How are you, my friend?
Aloha. I am in not so sunny Bakersfield, California, and I've got to tell you, it's been one of those Kiwanis moment kind of 2 days. Oh my goodness. So I'm so glad to be here because I started my morning at 6 o'clock this morning.
Why?
First club meeting. 6 o'clock my time. Went to a club meeting.
Oh, that's good. That was 9 o'clock by the time I was ready here in the office, getting ready for our guests. This is like role reversal here, Doc Val, because normally we get a lot of guests through your connections who can leave them, of course, within international and whatnot. And so our guests, like last week when we had Linda Ramsey with us, was virtual from Tennessee. But no, this is not a figment of your imagination. This is not data. He's not been teleported here. Look, he's real human in bones. I can touch him and he breathes. This is Lieutenant Governor Paul Miller here of the Capital District Division 14 here in the Virginia Beach, Hampton Roads, Suffolk area. He's also a member of the Churchland Club over in Portsmouth. So he is here. I got him. He's blood, skin, and he's rooted, and he's sitting next to me. And we're going to talk about all that's going on here in the Hampton Roads area, Division 14 of the Capital District. So good morning, sir. How are you?
Not hydrated.
Good morning. It's like I did this. Good morning.
Wait, do that again. She's giving you the virtual handshake.
Good morning. All right.
So it's kind of good now. Because of some stories that I shared earlier, I'm going to start calling him Lieutenant Governor Paul today, and that's it. I've used the last name one time. That's all I'm going to do. But quick reminder, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Of course, if you're watching us on Facebook, you've got 3 pages. Of course, the show page, Kiwanis Connect Show, WVBV TV on Facebook, and WWDB TV on Facebook. Oh, and hey, by the way, same 3 channels over on YouTube if you prefer. But here's some exciting news. This month started a brand new location for Kiwanis Connects to be found. DB, as in David Bruner, DBTV.TV. Saturdays or Sundays, 8 a.m. Eastern time. I realize that's like in the middle of the night for you folks out on the West, and it's the day before if you're watching in Hawaii. I think, I don't know, I get all lost with these time zones. But DBTV.TV now is a new home for Kiwanis Connects as well in our audience, so you can find us there. If you watch us live, we appreciate that. And of course, if you want to watch anything that we've done in the past, God knows why you didn't see it the first time, but you want to subject yourself to bad dad jokes the second time. But anyway, speaking of bad dad jokes, our guest today, Lieutenant Governor Paul, he is equipped and he is ready with some bad dad jokes to go toe-to-toe with me later on. Of course, I've got the last of the Thanksgiving-themed jokes because, again, as we mentioned, Doc Val, this is it. Next Thursday is Gobble Gobble Day.
It's hard to believe, isn't it? And yeah. I have been watching all of these different YouTubes at Kiwanis clubs across the country that are doing these amazing service projects. So when we do well, I'm going to have to talk fast.
Yes, I bet you will. But don't talk too fast that you start choking on pretend turkey meat. We don't want to do that. John, if you could put up Douglas's message so that Paul could see it, please. Douglas Chadwick is a hugely active member of Kiwanis out there in Calneva District of the Roseville Club and the Southern SoCal Literacy Club. So I wanted you to see that.
Well, good morning. Glad you could join us today.
Good morning, Douglas. Thank you as always for chiming in. He's probably one of the overall bestest supporters of what we do, as well as Chuggy Portals is out there as well. Good morning, my friends out there in Cali and everybody else watching. Wherever you are, do me a favor. Just punch in there where you're watching from, just so that we kind of know. Now, before we get into kind of our agenda today, I do have a general question I would pose to Val and to Paul. Anybody out there wants to chime in. Val, I'm going to start with you first. What is your favorite Thanksgiving tradition that's either on the table or something that your family always does that's part of Thanksgiving? Share one with us if you don't mind.
My favorite part of Thanksgiving, and it's been a tradition for decades, is that everybody gets to cook with somebody else that they normally don't get to cook with. And
I
so
like that.
that is an amazing, special thing. And so, as you guys know, I don't come from a line of women that cook. And so my most memorable, it's not a positive, but my memorable is making mac and cheese with my grandmother.
Okay.
It was
So
horrible.
do you make mac and cheese now, though?
I make phenomenal mac and cheese.
Okay.
The family tradition and whatever that recipe was that grandma brought, not so much.
Okay. All right, Lieutenant Governor Paul, what's your favorite tradition that you guys do?
Well, it's always great to get together with family. Usually my kids have been away from school or live in different parts of the country, in Phoenix, for instance. But it's nice to be able to get together at Thanksgiving, even so more so than at Christmas, to be able to get together and have the blessings that we have. But as food, besides pumpkin pie, I would have to say mincemeat pie is a little bit, it's a little different than most people have, but it's a tradition, and we always enjoy the mincemeat pie portion of it. So,
all right, there you go.
Ooh, that sounds awesome. Absolutely awesome.
You know what mine is? Mine is taking a plate of food. Although this was more prevalent in Vegas because the weather was a little warm around Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
When the temperatures are right, I would just take a plate of food and I would just go outside to eat it. You know why? Because in Vegas, when it's still like 70 degrees at Thanksgiving, you don't worry about freezing your own giblets off to go outside and eat a plate of food. Right,
That's
John?
true.
John can tell, and God is my witness. When we first were out there in Vegas, that's exactly what I did. Is I took a plate of food the first Thanksgiving, went out my back patio. It was like 70 degrees, and I'm out there in shorts and a t-shirt, gobbling up some turkey. And everybody, Eileen was looking at me going, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going out to eat this plate of food outside." She says, "Why?" And I said, "Why? Because I can. That's why." That's right. But seriously, the other tradition that we like to do is we just like to invite anybody and everybody over that either is going to be alone, just wants to be with some other people. We love a house full around Thanksgiving. We generally set it up buffet. And just yesterday, I invited a Kiwanian who's going to, has no particular plans. And you would think I wrote like $1 million check out to him to invite him to come over and sit with us. And he says, he said to me, on one condition. And so he says, I got to bring something. So in the middle of the Kiwanis meeting, I'm texting Eileen. I invited so-and-so to join us. What can this person bring? Apple cider. So this person has been assigned apple cider for Thanksgiving next week. So that's what we love to do. What's your favorite tradition out there? Put it in the chat room. We'll pick it up. We'll share it, or John will flash it across the screen. If you're watching on YouTube, put your comments on there as well. John can catch it. We'll put it up there. Share what your favorite tradition is. And yes, I guess Douglas corrected me. I guess Burbank. Is he a member? Douglas is a member of Burbank also? I guess he is. John, what, Turkey? John's.
I think he was in Burbank at this point.
I'm sorry. Gotcha.
So but I want to know what John's is because he's always behind the scenes.
He put it in the chat room. His favorite tradition is simply turkey.
I love it. And we're doing turkey 2 ways this year. So
2 ways? How you doing it?
So one is deep fried and the other one is smoked.
So what's the difference in taste between the two?
It's phenomenal. You really can tell the difference. And anybody who's a Q head out there, they know that low and slow smoked. It's just, I could go on for hours. That's why I love going to Memphis, because Memphis in May and talking about barbecue, that's a whole nother show. And deep fried turkey, it just has something special going on. So,
well, Linda Ramsey then better be prepared for us to ransack our house then in May if we're going to go out there.
I've heard that there's an open invitation. It's the best barbecue competition in the world.
And last but not, I want to mention Linda. By the way, thank you, Linda, for ordering your beautiful Kiwanis Connects jersey, which you're seeing Doc Val wearing as we speak today. I decided to go long sleeve surfer shirt. And Judy Goad, who was with us a couple of weeks ago, she and I communicated today. She's out and about, but when she gets back to her office, she too will be placing her order for that beautiful Kiwanis Connects jersey, which if you all want one, all you need to do is send me an email at kiwanisconnectsinfo@gmail.com. I will reply with all the instructions and all the options to get a beautiful Kiwanis Connects jersey of your own. And the proceeds for those sales, guess what? They're going to keep the show on the air and keep John happy to help us pay the bills. Speaking of which, Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was going to say our friend Bob needs to order his. I don't think he's done that yet. He's in Upper Michigan Peninsula, and Bob, this will actually keep you warm. Just saying.
I'll tell you what, Bob. You order that. We'll make sure we get you a long sleeve version to stay warm up there in the cold parts of, as we say, the Michigan area up there. That's right. Upper Peninsula. There he is, Mr. Larson. Appreciate it. Okay. So with that, let's get rock and roll. First of all, did you say, Val, why you're actually on the road today?
I am. And so I am actually not parked on the side of the road, but I am literally on the road. And so we're doing something special called Revitalization, and Taka Nagata came on the show and we mentioned it a little bit. And so we're actually going to do a show about this because I realized how inspired people left that room feeling. And so I want to be able to do that. But I know you guys are always inspired. And having Paul in here, I got kind of giddy because I remember being a part of a team and meeting Paul. And he doesn't remember me because I was a lot bigger at one point in time. And I looked very, very different. Think Flock of Seagulls hairstyle.
Oh, my God. How many cans of hairspray was that worth?
Oh, I'm telling you. So, Paul, thank you so much for being here. And we are wacky. But if you're not having fun, then what's the point, right?
Well, it's part of Kiwanis. Kiwanis is really a group of people having fun, doing good things for kids. So it's all win-win. I haven't met anybody who doesn't enjoy being a Kiwanian.
Now, if memory serves from your bio, you've been involved in Kiwanis since 2013?
2013.
How did you get involved? Why Kiwanis?
Why Kiwanis? I had retired from the military in 2000 and had gotten a job as a defense contractor here in the local area. And I have a dog. Okay. And so I went walking with the dogs around the neighborhood, and I bumped into a neighbor. And the neighbor said, "Hey, would you like to do Kiwanis?" And I said, even though I was working, I said, I still want to be able to do something to help community and some type of structured nonprofit to be able to help kids or whatever. So it sounded like a good match. And so I went ahead and joined. And like 2 years later, I was president of the club for 3 years.
2 years later.
Type of item. And so, but that's how I got into Kiwanis. So because I liked the mission. It was a good bunch of people. And so we just got started on it, and it's been a roller coaster, fun ride.
So let's give a tip of the cap to your home club, which is who, what, when, where.
I'm a member of the Churchland Club, which is one of the two clubs in Portsmouth, Virginia.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay. A large city. In some places it would be called a county. But there's a downtown Portsmouth club, which is a great club. And then we are out in the Churchland, which is about 10 miles away from them, but it's still part of Portsmouth. And so we are a breakfast club, and we start, and we have about a small club. We're about 15 members, but we've grown a couple this lately. And so, so yeah, it's Churchland, which is one of the cities that we have in the 14th division.
And although you can't see it because we're seeing nothing but green, right? We'll give a little shout out. I pulled down the logo from Facebook of your home club.
Okay.
Very nice. Very nice.
I'll tell you what, I'm having so much fun with these backgrounds now. Wait till I got turkey ones all set up for later. I'm going to have so much fun. How big is the club now?
The club's about 15. Okay. So we just got some new members in, which is exciting.
What's the signature project of the club?
The signature project is the angel trees.
Okay.
All right. We do several projects. We work with a nonprofit down here called Edmark. And Edmark is a nonprofit is a hospice for children.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, wow.
And so, it's in downtown Portsmouth. And we do a lot of that. And then we work with Oasis Missions for food drives. But I would say the Salvation Army and Edmark are two big nonprofits, but we also contribute to the YMCA. We could contribute to the Shriners Roadrunners, which is a group of people, the Shriners, who drive kids to the hospitals for service. We help support the Sea Scouts, which is a high school group of the kids trying to learn to be able to do things.
Wow. But for a small group in numbers, that's an awful lot that you guys have going on.
We're a small group,
Mighty.
but
Yeah, and I want to go back to something because we are a global show, and there are people all over the world that will dial in. And when you talk about your signature project as an angel tree, some people don't know what an angel tree is. So can you explain a little bit more, because a lot of people get ideas for what to do in their area.
Under the Salvation Army, they have programs where they go out to meet needy families.
Mhm.
And they'll get together with the families. They know that they're in need. And what the Salvation Army will do is give a little ornament that has a kid's name on it, their size, maybe what they want for Christmas, some dimensions type of thing. And so we hand out these, we get these ornaments, we pass them to our members, and our members go out shopping to buy those type of items. We then put them all in a bag and give them to the Salvation Army, and then the Salvation Army,
that family. We work for that family.
We work, so we have probably 20 or 30 kids that we do things, and so they'll say, okay, 11-year-old boy, size 5, and he likes whatever games. I learned last year about Fortnite. I learned about Fortnite. So and Bluey and stuff like this. So I keep kids as young when we try to keep them up with the kids. When we go to the store, we have never heard of the toy that they're looking for, which is kind of fun. Type of thing, so it helps expand our horizons also. So we gather these things for the Salvation Army, and then the Salvation Army delivers them to the family, to the child for Christmas type of item. So it's a great program run by the Salvation Army, and we're happy to participate in doing that.
It sounds like a great program for a shopaholic. So, it's just like I only have 2 grand boys, but I love Christmas shopping to see what the toys are. So being able to go and can you specifically look at the angel things, or is it one of those things that you get what you get?
What we do is our members, we divide the ornaments to go to our members, and they go shopping. And part of our budget for our Kiwanis thing is we'll give you X amount of dollars to help buy these things. But oftentimes things cost a little bit more. But so it is, I want to say shopping with free money, but they can go out shopping and buy something, and they don't have to reach into their pocket, so they're more incentive. Sure. They just have to give me the receipts, and as treasurer, I reimburse them. So it's but often people will spend a little bit more because, the gifts.
Prices are changing.
Absolutely. And you're trying to buy something, if the kids have 3 things there, you'd like to be able to help get as much as you can for the kids.
Absolutely.
And so Black Friday shopping is always popular with our members. We have our angel tree things now. And matter of fact, this weekend I'll be out shopping for 3 people, 11-month and 11-year-old and a 10-year-old. So it's
that all one family?
That was one family.
Yeah. Black Friday, that's the start of when I never set foot into a store until after January 1st. That's right. I don't know that. All right, we're going to step aside for our first break. But before we do, I want to draw attention to something, folks. If you follow my posts on social media for the weekly shows, I usually put pictures of logos and our vendors and everything. This week, I've started to do something a little different. I've added links under the captions for each of the pictures. So if you want to learn more about our sponsors, you click on the picture that says the book vending picture, you pull that up, you click on it on Facebook. Below in the comments section, under that picture, you'll see the link to that website. So not only will you see it here in the commercials, or we'll talk about it, but just simply go to the promos also on the show page, WVBV TV, and mine. I have added all that on there as well to make things that much more convenient for you to support our sponsors for the Kiwanis Connects show. With that, don't go anywhere. We got a lot more to talk about with Paul, Division 14 here in the Capital District, what Val's doing. Of course, we got so much stuff to do. You ain't going to want to miss it, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
2 out of 3 kids in America can't read at grade level. And without help, many will never catch up. In a world of screens, short attention spans, and endless distractions, getting kids excited about reading has never been harder. That's where Kiwanis Club steps in. Through Inchy's bookworm vending machines, kids earn tokens for positive behaviors, achievements, kindness, and more, and use them to pick a book they just can't wait to read. Every book is a child's to keep. Every book builds a personal at-home library, and every page sparks curiosity, confidence, and lifelong learning. Your club can make it happen. Let's put more books and more smiles into the hands of kids who need them most. Together, we can change the story, one book at a time. To learn more, go to bookvending.com/Kiwanis.
I wouldn't let aging stop me from being me.
Oh yeah, still got those moves in me.
I will be fabulous.
I will accessorize.
Comfort Care can help with as much or as little home care as you need. From medication reminders and meal prep to everyday chores and errands. Let us create your personalized care plan and find the perfect caregiver match so you can live your best life possible.
Hey everybody, Aaron Phillips here from the Kiwanis Connects show. Are you trying to recruit for new members? Do you have a huge event coming up that maybe is your biggest fundraiser of the year? But you need to do something different to let people know that it's happening. The same old gives you the same old routine and results. Well, we've got an idea for you. The Kiwanis Connect show offers the opportunity to have customized commercials created to help your club get your message out. And you know what? One of the extra wonderful points of this opportunity is we provide it as a fundraising opportunity for every $50 donation for the commercial goes to the Rose Float Kiwanis Club. That's right. The very same Rose Float that we see on television every New Year's that represents Kiwanis International will now be supported by these Kiwanis Connects commercials. So, if you want more information and get involved, just drop us an email at KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. That's KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. Get your 30, 60, or 90-second customized commercial today, and let's help the Rose Float Kiwanis Club continue to plant its seeds for success.
Hey, honey, what you doing?
Getting ready to watch a game.
What about fixing up the house like you promised?
What you talking about?
Just the new light in the den, the new shower in our bathroom, the new fence around the yard, the front steps.
Stop! You know, I have a better idea. You know Craig down the street? He owns a company that specializes in handyman services, but he is more than just any old handyman.
Really? Would you say different strokes for different folks?
You know I will. You know why? Because he does home repairs and he does painting and kitchen remodels and bathrooms and everything else in between.
How are his prices?
Great value for great quality. You know, I think I'll invite him over and get a free estimate for all the things that I know will make you the happiest, dear.
Call Different Strokes Painting and Handyman Service for a free estimate by calling 757-395-9999 today.
That's 757-395-9999. Above the rest, they show up and show out by making your vision come to life. It's for volunteers. Hey, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. Just asked Paul if we have Circle K in the area because I've not really heard much of Circle K. And he was just starting to answer, yes, we do, because I usually, for those who don't know, for Celebrity Pledge Match, I like turning to Circle K for them to have service hours and help out with some of our fundraising events. So we'll get to that.
I love it.
Paul Moon is with us here today from the Capital District Division 14 here. We got 11 clubs that he's responsible for. And we're just at the point we're going to start picking his brain about all that goes on here. But first, I'm going to throw it back to Governor Val to get it started.
Well, you know, Paul, I am a recovering lieutenant governor, and actually I fell back into the role again because I had done 5.5 terms, not all consecutive, and I'm actually the acting lieutenant governor in my area because our immediate past lieutenant governor had a whole change of life. And so, wow. So it was one of my most favorite jobs. So, who convinced you, or did you have to convince some people that you wanted to be lieutenant governor? How'd you get into the role?
Well, this is my second tour as lieutenant governor. I was lieutenant governor 2 years ago.
That's where we met when he was been retired the first time.
But I was president of our club, and I walked through a mid-year conference.
Mm-hmm.
And I bumped into one of the trustees, a guy named Richard Pippin.
May he rest in peace.
Richard.
great Kiwanian, great person.
Yes.
He said, "Can I talk to you for a second?" And next thing I know, I'm talking with him and Nancy Simonelli, who is going to be lieutenant governor next year.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, one of the people that was going to be lieutenant governor her family was having a medical issue and didn't want to do it. And they said, would you be willing to do so? And so I said, yeah, let's go with it. I'll try. Love to try something new. And so about a year and a half ago, I became lieutenant governor. And then this time around, they were having trouble finding somebody. And I said, I enjoyed doing it. It's the people aspect of it that really makes it special here in the Tidewater area. Great people. And so I said, yeah, I'll do it again. So I'm on my second tour as lieutenant governor. I don't have quite as many as you, Doc, but I'm not sure I want that many.
I had two, but I just split them into two different states. So
I was a slow learner on some things, and it truly is one of those jobs where you go, wow, I am learning so much about so many other clubs. Because you get, as a member, you get fascinated and you say, I belong to the best club in all of Kiwanis. You have no clue what other Kiwanis clubs do, but we belong to the best. We give examples of our own clubs. But as lieutenant governor, you got to see what other clubs are doing, and you're going, wow, this whole Kiwanis world, it's amazing.
That's part. I get so tunnel vision locked into what our club is doing. It really opened up my eyes when I got to visit the other clubs. And then, of course, going through the process of opening a new club was a very exciting aspect, because you can use those principles to help build membership and those techniques for doing other things. So it's good. But I think Kimberly Temple, who was a previous one that just passed over, basically said, you got to do it again to fix all the things you did wrong the first time. And so that's why I'm back to try to do a little bit better job than I did the first time.
Absolutely. So as you're going through this, what was one of your favorite club visits? Because each one is a little different, and sometimes I don't even know you're a Kiwanian when you walk in the room. So,
wow, we have some really great clubs. All of them are diverse. We have very small clubs. We have very large clubs. We have some financially challenged clubs, and we have ones that are quite a bit. I guess one of my favorite clubs is the Ocean View Club. It's about 5 or 6 people, longtime members. They have not been able to attract many new members, but they do a fishing tournament every year, raise thousands of dollars for scholarships, and they are just a fun little club to visit. They do a breakfast club meeting at 7:30 in the morning at the little diner. They all get together, they have fun, they talk stories, and for a small club, they're sort of the little engine that could type of thing. They keep on going, and so that's one of my favorite clubs. Is a small little club at Ocean View, which is a water section of Norfolk type of area.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. The diversity of the areas here and some of these communities, as Paul mentioned, where he's from, Portsmouth is a community that can actually house 2 different clubs. The Virginia Beach area, we have, let's see if I can name them. Virginia Beach, obviously. Town Center. Lynn Haven. Would you consider Chesapeake part of Virginia Beach?
No.
No.
Virginia Beach. That's like Hatfield and McCoy's around there, right? So those are the only 3 really in Virginia Beach proper, right?
Yeah, Ocean View is so close, but it's pretty close to Virginia Beach.
But it's considered Norfolk.
That's part of Norfolk.
Right. It's close to that borderline. So the concentration of population of Virginia Beach is about 500,000 roughly, from what I've read, give or take a few thousand. And to have a concentration of about 4 clubs within that relatively small radius and be strong and supportive with their activities. Yeah, Ocean View may only have a half a dozen members per se, but they're still very active with some great events. It's not unlike Vegas, or it's not unlike your area, Val, where you have a huge population housing members. This is a much smaller community, but yet the diversity of every club, even though as close as we all are, is still very strong.
Very good. It's a great club. We have Virginia Beach as a large club. They have one of a past TV host. A guy named Joe Flanagan that helps promote their clubs, but they do a great golf tournament, and they give out a lot of scholarships. But they're a big club, but they do things. They have great meetings. They sing at the end of each meeting, and really have a good time of a group of people getting together.
Yes, we do, and the cops come by wondering what kind of noise that is when we do sing. That's
not only when you sing.
It's true.
But it just makes me want to share an opportunity, because oftentimes in small towns, we're going to be one Kiwanis Club. Right. We have them all. And if you try to start up another Kiwanis Club, then we're going to make it difficult for you, because we're the Kiwanis Club. But when you have a community like yours, the opportunity to expand, because each club has its own culture. This is my light bulb thing that happens to me every time. It's like, I'm just going to light up my ears. Is in Kingston, Jamaica, in the, EC&C, Eastern Canada and the Caribbean District, where our incoming President Hope Marks is. They do something called a Club Expo. And so all the clubs get together and they set up almost like a vendor fair, and they show off all that they do. So instead of a division council meeting, they have this expo and invite the whole community. It's like everybody in the chamber, all across, whatever the township is. And you get to see these different Kiwanis clubs. And you as Lieutenant Governor then, talk about, you may not want to be a part of the morning club because you're just not a morning person. Don't bring your bad attitude to a morning club. Maybe you want to be a part of the happy hour club. Or if you're totally into fishing and you don't want to do anything else, we got a club for you. But working together to do a large-scale recruitment mixer would be really cool in your town. It would be totally cool.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, as you were involved with, Val, is the North Suffolk Club. When we went to visit them, they're only a few miles away from where we meet in the Churchland Club. But we meet in the breakfast thing, and most of the people were interested in a different item, so it brought in a different group of people who were more interested in working after hours or meeting after hours and doing things. But distance-wise, we're probably the two closest clubs, and when we recruited for the North Suffolk Club, we even found a member for the downtown Suffolk Club, which is about 15 miles away. So you never know. You plant a seed and something will grow, and it's worked out well. So I like the idea of having a fair for advertising Kiwanis. So I think that's a great idea for us to consider moving forward.
And it's also a great place to sell merch. So if each one of you, if someone's doing See's candy and someone's doing popcorn and all of these different things, make it available.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the light is shining through.
One of our smaller clubs is in Great Bridge, which is in Chesapeake. And they're only down to about 4 members. They just got one to make it up to go to 5, and they have one, I want to say, on the hook that hasn't signed up yet. But they have a food truck, and they go do Renaissance fairs. They do other things. So they sell food as part of their fundraising thing, and they work with their key clubs to do those type of items. But if we had this event thing, that would be a great opportunity for them to come set up their items and help promote things along with other items. So that's an area for us to look in. So thank you for the idea.
I think that in worst case scenario, if there's not enough clubs per se, but it's a Kiwanis market, and one club's going to host it, and you bring in a couple other vendors and you charge some table space, now that club that may be struggling financially can start getting some money in their coffers by selling vendor tables, and now you're hosting a market by Kiwanis and bringing in other vendors too. So there's so many.
A seasonal Kiwanis market. So for the winter holidays, you do everybody who has a hobby. Like I have so many hobbies, and Andy would love some garage space back. Oh my goodness. Be able to have a table where it's a 50-50 split. 50% of what you earn goes to the club, 50% goes to the member.
I like it. See?
Oh my goodness, and Santa does their thing.
Shark Tank has nothing on this show. I'm going to tell you all right now. Okay, we come up with ideas here. Shark Tank, Big Tank, Kiwanis Tank.
Kiwanis tank.
Kiwanis tank. Anyway, so we got ideas. But I like that idea, though. You do it season. You got Easter. You got this time of year, right? You got
there's fall festival.
Absolutely.
And someone says we have pie. Susan Wells is on, and they have pie while they watch the Detroit Lions. I got to have breakfast with Susan this morning. So
did you? Hi, Susan. I don't know why I can't tag you in the posts on Facebook anymore. So I'm sorry that I'm not able to. Douglas football all day. Yeah, there's now 4 football games on Thanksgiving. I remember when there only used to be 2. Now there's 4.
It's like the best day of the year.
It is. That's when you can just sit and be fat, cat, happy, filled with turkey. Oh, and then napping with tryptophan. So,
yes.
We have to remember that as well.
Legitimate napping.
What's that?
Legitimate napping.
Yeah, I want to say, but here's a snapshot of what I look like an hour or so after eating. So this is the tryptophan in. This is what happens. You just kind of eat your food. And then here's the sad part. You wake up from that nap and an hour later you're back to eating turkey again. I don't know how. And then the next day and everything else. So there you go. So this is what your future can hold. See, even that's airline. See, I was smart. I even took my glasses off before I fell forward into the food. Anyway. All right, enough of that stuff. Okay, so let's talk about the division as a whole. Are you an historical knowledge of our division? Like how far back does our division go? Who was the oldest club in our division?
We have a club.
Is it Virginia Beach?
Yeah, we just did the 75-year celebration for Ocean View.
Oh, okay.
Last year. We had a little celebration for that, but we have a 100-year club.
Okay.
And so most of our clubs are 50, 60 years old type of thing. Our Churchland Club just passed 50 years, but most of our clubs have been around for a long time, and so they've been very fortunate. Unfortunately, the membership has dropped a little bit, but we're working on that to try to come up with reasons and good things to expand that to include the membership.
So that's a great segue for me to ask you this. As somebody watching right now that's in the Hampton Roads area and would like to learn more about the clubs that we have at our disposal and where they are and times all that, what's the best way for them to get that information?
The two ways, right? Well, one, obviously go through this show because this has great contacts for that. Right? The other way is Kiwanis International has a website, Kiwanis.org. And if you're interested or know somebody who's interested, there is a site there you can click on and say, I'm interested.
Finder, is that what it's called? A site locator?
Site locator type of thing. So you could type your name, your contact information in, and Kiwanis International will then follow the email or coordinate and contact us, and we'll reach out to you and say, hey, wait a minute, you live in Chesapeake, or you live in Virginia Beach, or maybe Bakersfield. I don't know what the type of thing, but we'll talk to them and say, what are you interested in doing? What's your interest type of place? Where do you live? What are your interests? And we'll try to match them with the club in their area that meets at their time type of thing. And then we'll try to encourage them to come to the meetings to do so. That's one way that we've done already a couple times.
And what's the second way? What's another way?
Second way, if you
besides us.
You can always send an email to churchlandkiwanis@gmail.com and say, I'm interested in doing it. So churchlandkiwanis, all one word, @gmail.com is our site, and that's the site that Lieutenant Governor has, and we can contact you type of thing. We're working on more of the Facebook connections to be able to do that.
Does the club have a website? Churchland Club
Our club has a website,
which is easy.
He's getting all choked up because you're showing dinner in the background.
Sweet pie.
There's also another way to do this, because there are people that are driving along the side of the road at this point in time. And Kiwanis International has worked really, really hard to do more branding and to get keyword searches to go up. So if you put in Kiwanis and the name of where you are, it will show you clubs that have a presence. And for clubs that don't have a website, like your club has a website, Kiwanis International is providing free websites to every club. They do the logos and the branding, and they provide it.
Yeah, we go through the Kiwanis as a / our club on the Facebook. That's the one that we leverage. That seems to have the most items, but most of our clubs do that, and they have pictures and they have contact information there. So if anybody's interested there.
Speaking of pictures, John, let's throw some pictures up there before we go to break. While he's doing that, it's funny, you mentioned the easiest way to find out where clubs are. I decided not to do the easy way when I moved from Las Vegas. I first had a conversation with Gary Graham, who then, when I asked about the club. So, you know what, let's talk about the pictures first. What are we looking at?
We're looking at the Chesapeake Club, and they have several fundraisers for the year. One of them is they sell pork butt sales. I better make sure they don't sell butt sales, but pork butt sales.
Vegas egg. Yeah, right.
But everybody's in a pool. What I'm looking at is everybody's in a pool. That's not pork butt sales.
What they do is they have a special fundraiser that goes to only one person. So they advertise this, so all the proceeds go to a particular charity, person, whatever. And what they do is they float around in the pool and they get sponsors to say, I'll pay for X amount of people or, hours in the pool. So they make this a big party. They have food, picnic, and they all float around, but they get donations from sponsors that are contributing to that one's charity. So this one goes to a specific charity, and that charity changes every year. So that 1 year it may be help one family, next year it may be an organization. But typically there are people that need some help, and they do a fundraiser and raise funds through selling sponsorships for floating in the pool. So
and unfortunately, Lynn and I were not available for this event this past year. We were somewhere in July when they did that.
That was it's a fun social event for the people.
I know what that was.
And this is the fundraiser that the Churchland Kiwanis and the other people do. Smithfield has a big festive event 3 times a year. And they bring in probably 2,000 people that they sell tickets to. And in the summer, they sell bourbon and bacon type of items. And coming up in January,
have a bacon dipped in bourbon.
That too, you can do that. But anyway, that's one of our fundraisers because they pay the charities, the Lions Club, the Rotary, the churches, to go, and that's where you go. So you get paid so much per member per hour of work, and that's where we get a lot of our money for doing that. So, and
looks like a formal thing.
This is a charter event for the North Suffolk Club.
Oh, okay.
So this is what they just started last year. They're about 1 year old.
Yep.
And you see Governor Lamb and Ted Gillette and Josh. I'm sorry.
Dentist Josh.
Now you got me in trouble. David Lurie. But a lot of the members are the new members of the North Suffolk Club that are chartered. I think Doc Val was helping participate that, but that's a small club, about 15. But they dropped 4, but then they added 5. So they're a great youthful club. So it's a great thing to do.
We'll go over this last picture, and then we have to take a break. This looks like Norfolk because I see Gary in there.
Okay, that is one of the events that they have to put things together. As a fundraiser.
This looks like the food bank, maybe?
Yeah, that's the Norfolk Food Bank. And so the Norfolk Club is one of our wealthier clubs, but they sponsor a holiday house item. They do cooking for Ronald McDonald, and they do big food bank drives. So that's exactly what it is. That's the Norfolk Club in sponsoring and help doing food bank for the year.
All right, we're going to step aside for a quick break. As we'll keep showing these pictures as best as we can as we go, because we have so much to do. We have Melissa's mental health moment. We have Kiwanis Wow moments. We know Val's already on the road. And, of course, we have bad jokes to wrap up. And, of course, our guest, Lieutenant Governor Paul, he's armed and ready to go with a couple of jokes for us. So there's still a lot to do and so little time left to do it. We'll be back right after this.
Hey, honey, what you doing?
Getting ready to watch a game.
What about fixing up the house like you promised?
What you talking about?
Just the new light in the den, the new shower in our bathroom, the new fence around the yard, the front steps.
Stop! You know, I have a better idea. You know Craig down the street? He owns a company that specializes in handyman services, but he is more than just any old handyman.
Really? Would you say different strokes for different folks?
You know I will. You know why? Because he does home repairs and he does painting and kitchen remodels and bathrooms and everything else in between.
How are his prices?
Great value for great quality. I think I'll invite him over and get a free estimate for all the things that I know will make you the happiest, dear.
Call Different Strokes Painting and Handyman Service for a free estimate by calling 757-395-9999 today.
That's 757-395-9999. Above the rest, they show up and show out by making your vision come to life.
2 out of 3 kids in America can't read at grade level. And without help, many will never catch up. In a world of screens, short attention spans, and endless distractions, getting kids excited about reading has never been harder. That's where Kiwanis Club steps in. Through Inchy's bookworm vending machines, kids earn tokens for positive behaviors, achievements, kindness, and more, and use them to pick a book they just can't wait to read. Every book is a child's to keep. Every book builds a personal at-home library, and every page sparks curiosity, confidence, and lifelong learning. Your club can make it happen. Let's put more books and more smiles into the hands of kids who need them most. Together, we can change the story, one book at a time. To learn more, go to bookvending.com/Kiwanis.
All right, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. I'm Aaron Phillips. I've got Lieutenant Governor Paul with us here from Division 14 of the Capital District. And of course, out in Cali somewhere, parts unknown, which we think to be Bakersfield, Doc Val is. So real quickly, we got another picture up here. Why don't you share what we got there? And then I do have a question for you about the clubs and stuff. So what are we looking at here?
Okay, we're looking at a fishing day at Ocean View, where people are getting together for a little festival going out for the Flounder Fest. So that's
Flounder. We have Shrimp Fest, Flounder Fest. Do we have Siesta Fests around here?
That would be great, that type of thing. But again, a small club, but they go out and put out these parties and gather money for, they make several thousands that they then put back into scholarships for their key clubs.
Very good, very good. Oh, look at this crew of leaders.
This is our Suffolk Club. This is one of our, I take that back. That's another picture of our Ocean View. That's Cecil. That's a little place that they meet. And that's what they're doing is just sort of getting together. And now I tell you what I like. That's Cecil, who's the lieutenant governor, but he's visiting the Norfolk Club, the Suffolk Club. So Cecil was visiting the Suffolk Club, giving them the award.
Right, this is Town Center.
Yeah, this is Virginia Beach Town Center.
Right next door to me over here, to my right. They meet right next to me over here at the Italian restaurant. While these are scrolling, and John, you can just scroll through those. So we talked about 11 clubs.
Portsmouth Club there.
We talked about 11 clubs.
Yep.
Right? Geographically, give us some ideas to where those 11 clubs or what they cover.
Well, the Virginia Beach, we cover 4 cities down here. We have Virginia Beach, Norfolk, Suffolk, and Portsmouth.
Okay.
And Suffolk is far west, and Virginia Beach is east, where it goes up to the water. But it's about 60 miles in between those areas. And so we cover a pretty good geographical area for doing that type of thing, where Suffolk tends to be very, very rural. See why I don't do this very often. Rural, and where the others tend to be more of the city, urban type of thing. So it's a diverse group of people living in different places that do things.
60 miles out here is nice coverage, but 60 miles out in Calneva is just like a Saturday afternoon.
60 miles is the work commute.
Right, exactly. All right, we got a lot to do. So what I'd like to do is let's just transition just a wee bit. Let's hear from Melissa Atwell from the Mental Health Moment. John?
Therapy isn't just for crisis. It's for growth, clarity, and care. It's okay to ask for help at any stage in your mental health journey. You deserve support at each stage, through each season. Remember, take a moment for your mental health.
I love that one. I really loved it.
Kathy Tutty's checking in. Hi, Kathy Tutty, Susan, Douglas, everybody's out there. Kathy, put in the chat room what your favorite Thanksgiving tradition is, if you don't mind. While we're doing that, Doc Val, are you ready for some Kiwanis wow moments?
I am.
John, let's
So it's like, oh. You know, I am actually in Bakersfield. Most people don't know where that is, and so there is a corridor that just runs all the way through the middle of the state, from north to south, from the Mexican border all the way to Oregon, and then on into Washington, which is the I-5. And so all of the food that people see is along that highway. And Bakersfield is literally only 2 hours away from Los Angeles, but it is light years away in culture and thematic things. In Kern County itself, they have 11 clubs, and so their division is a county, and there are 11 clubs. The furthest out club is 2 hours, a 2-hour drive, Ridgecrest. But my wow moment was last night we had a division council meeting, and all 11 clubs were represented. There were over 44 people who all drove in, and we've been dealing with rainstorms and flooding, and everybody came in. And this is just this dynamic group of people that everybody's doing Seas Candy. Everybody's doing something special. But one of the special wow programs was most people don't like to go into Costco, you know, during the Thanksgiving season, but they love Costco pies. And so this one club goes and they will buy all of the Costco pies, and they will set up a pie tent for $5 extra, you can just come and buy pies from the club.
Nice.
Costco is now starting to give them discounts because they know they're going to sell out. So that was my wow. I was just like, oh my goodness, how creative is that?
I love it. I think that may have just given Lieutenant Governor Pollard an idea for that Kiwanis little vendor thing here. You get pies, turn around and resell them. I love it. I love that idea. Anything else you'd like to expand on the road while we got you?
You know, being on the road for me is so much fun. And so being in Bakersfield was truly to help revitalize some clubs and get them excited about what's going on in the area. And my next on the road during Thanksgiving week is going out and actually doing service. There are very few pictures of me doing service because I'm usually the one taking pictures, or I look like something that you don't want to see because I do the dirty work and I don't mind doing that. But we'll be helping go serve 3,500 meals in our local community, because Thanksgiving to me is a time when community gets together and friends get together and just celebrate the fact that we made it and that we have hope. And so there are a lot of people that go, no, Thanksgiving is family time. And for me, it's community. And Christmas for me is family time. And so I'll be out serving meals, and they'll be happy that I'm not cooking. I'm actually serving. So
there we go. Very good. John is flashing a website across the bottom of the screen called KiwanisRoseFieldGolfClassic.com. Val, you want to share what that's all about?
Absolutely. We have so many celebrities coming in, and we're very, very excited. So if you've ever wanted to play golf with the Tournament of Roses Rose Bowl in the background, you'll have an opportunity to come out and play golf or be a sponsor, because it's March 6th, and it's one of the most beautiful times in Pasadena. And so this is to raise funds across the globe, because it is a huge project where we have over 4,000 volunteers that we need to support. And we've discovered that a lot of our funding needs to go towards getting those kiddos, because it's mostly high school key clubbers that come in to do this. But buses have doubled in their cost in the last 3 years. And so to get a bus of 56 kids in costs $2,000. So by being a part of this and helping us fundraise, you'll help make sure that we continue to have that float going across, Colorado Boulevard on January 1st.
The biggest brand identifier for Kiwanis International is that float. But even if you're not a golfer, even if you're not in the area, go to the website, because you can just make a donation to support the golf tournament to help the Rosefield Club, which represents all of us, and participate and help support the Rosefield Golf Classic. I will be out there as part of Celebrity Grudge Match. I'm also going to be the MC and host for the event. And then the following week, we're going to be traveling to Northern Cali for an event at the Kiwanis Club of Marina. Information about that is coming as we're rounding out the celebrity athletes. But check out the website. We're going to post all the information about the marina. But certainly, again, if you want to travel out there with us, gosh almighty, come on out. We have corporate sponsorship package, as Val said, as well as discounts for forces. All right, with that, it is
Now, I
time.
want to throw something in that if you're Kiwani coming in from somewhere else, we will do a little VIP tour and interclub. So you can get an interclub also with a couple of the local clubs if you come out and do this. So you can do it as a voluntation.
Voluntation. Love that. I love that word. Love that. See, we have it all figured out to make it happen just for you. All right. It is that time of the show where we're going to wrap up with some bad dad jokes. So before we hit the intro, I'm going to turn it over to our guest, Lieutenant Governor Paul, as is our tradition here, to have our guest share a bad dad joke or two. Okay, Lieutenant Governor Paul, your turn.
All right, I worked a long time in communications for Defense Department and Coast Guard. But people always ask me, how do Vikings communicate? How do Vikings communicate?
How do Vikings communicate, Lieutenant Governor Paul?
Morse code.
Oh, no.
And
Bob Larson is probably loving that one. I love it. Morse code. All right.
You have another one? Oh, one more.
Why do scientists distrust atoms?
Why do scientists distrust atoms?
They make up everything.
All right, John, hit it.
Good luck.
Yeah, I know. Once again, the guest outshines the host of the show in his bad dad joke. So the good news is I can't do much worse than what we've already heard. Here you go. What do you get when you cross a turkey with a ghost? What do you get when you cross a turkey with a ghost? You get a poultrygeist. Poultrygeist. Come on. I got that right out of the gate. That's it. I'm good.
I love it. That's good.
All right. Well, I wish I could say I would stop right there, but you know me. I'm never going to. I live for these now. Thank you, Steve Nagel checks in. I knew you do. Here you go. What do you call the day after Black Friday? Paul was mentioning Black Friday. What do you call the day after Black Friday? Broke Saturday. That's what you get. And it's not even going to be Cyber Monday yet. There you have it. Why did the turkey, not me, bring a microphone? Why did the turkey bring a microphone? He was ready to roast. No, that was just I should have stopped while I was there, but not me. I'm going to keep trudging forward. What side of the turkey has more feathers? This is scientifically proven. What side of the turkey has the most feathers?
Outside.
I always
I knew John was going to jump in. I had a feeling he was going to know the answer. I was waiting for that there. All right. What role do green beans play in Thanksgiving dinner? What role do green beans play in Thanksgiving dinner? If you said the casserole, you'd be right. All right, there you go. Why didn't the cook season the turkey? Why didn't the cook season the Thanksgiving turkey? Because there was no time. THYME. Come on now. There you go. Hey, what sound does a dizzy turkey make? Huh? What kind of sound does a dizzy turkey make?
Wobble, wobble, wobble.
Wobble, wobble, wobble. Thank you, guys.
I want them too.
That's right. You guys, that's good. You're good. No, that's good. What's John Wayne's favorite holiday? And if you're all not saying that day, no. What's John Wayne's favorite holiday? Now listen, if you're not going to say this with the accent, you're all fired. Here we go. I'm going to try it. What's John Wayne's favorite holiday? Thanksgiving, Pilgrim.
Pilgrim.
Okay, there you go. Last but not least, here you go. I can't end this any better with this joke. Well, it's really not a joke, it's more of a statement. My family told me to stop telling Thanksgiving jokes. They said I couldn't quit cold turkey. That one got Paul there in the break. He's having a story over there. That does it for Thanksgiving Ben, got it off the file cabinet. There you go. Got it for 3. All right, that does it for Thanksgiving themed bad dad jokes, which means when we come back after, I know we're doing a show next week because it is the day after Thanksgiving. We're going to do also tryptophan out. We'll figure that out. But anyway, that does it. That does it for the. First of all, let me say thank you for Lieutenant Governor Paul for coming in today, sharing some wealth of knowledge about what we do here on the East Coast of the world of Kiwanis. So a lot of good stuff going. So that means when all of y'all come out here to visit Virginia Beach or wherever, you really need to look one of us up so you can come attend the meeting as our guests and check out what we do here in Division 14 of the Capital. How big is Capital District? What states make up Capital? We didn't even talk about that real quick.
Capital District includes Washington, D.C., Maryland, West Virginia, Virginia, and
did you say Maryland?
Maryland, D.C., West Virginia, Delaware.
See, states. You folks out there in Calneve are only 3. We got 5 out here. Anyway, Doc Bell, final thoughts, my friend.
I love this time of year because it gives me hope. And that is because there's so many different things to be thankful for. So as you're going through this week, I know that there are a lot of things that you can say the glass is half full. But if you could share what you're thankful for, go to KiwanisConnects.org or KiwanisConnects.com or wherever we are, and share what you're thankful for, because I can share with you with everything that's been going on in this world. I am so thankful for this opportunity to meet people like you, Paul, and all the people that watch our show. So thank you.
All right, with that, everybody, thank you for joining us again for another great show for Kiwanis Connects. Listen, without y'all out there wanting the interest in hearing about what Kiwanis does around the world, not just in your own backyard, this show would not be possible. We want to thank our sponsors, bookbending.com, Comfort Care Virginia Beach, Different Strokes, 757. Want to thank John out there in Virginia Beach. In Vegas for continuing to make us sound good, even though he keeps telling me my audio is terrible out here, which we will keep working on. And really for everybody that's out there, I love Kiwanis. I love what we do. More importantly, I love doing what I do when I get up each and every morning. With that, everybody, be kind to everybody. Why we're all we have. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Kiwanis Connects. This show is adjourned.